Hello, Blungami, and welcome back to the Blungami podcast. And in this episode, we are going to be doing the preview between the Newcastle Knights and the Premier Eels for the 2026 round 13. And if you people are brand new to the YouTube channel and also to the podcast, please make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel itself. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe as well. And make sure to give us a listen on Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts as well. And make to follow us on all platforms on Instagram and also on TikTok as well. And let's get into the preview of our round 13 clash away at McDonald Jones Stadium against the Newcastle Knights. So as we've got over here, people, we got our ins and our outs here. Now, I was supposed to put out a team list on our Instagram post, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to post it. So apologies for that, people. But here are the ins there for our team going into this week. So we've got Araz Nava, who was named in the reserves there for the knock-on effect cup team. Harrison Edwards will finally make his debut coming off from the bench, as I did kind of predict it was either going to be him or Ticon Brown, but Isaiah Iongi is officially back in first grade, people, with Kit Kat also back, Lorenzo Talatina being named in the reserves there as a six. Sam Tuvadi has also been named, but he has only been named in Cup also by a huge, shocking surprise. And outs there with Junior Bolo being out there with his return coming against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, along with Mitchell Moses suffering that calf injury during New South Wales training. How ironic. Saxon Prykes, he is also out. He has been dropped to lock there, and I think it was a big call there from Jason Rolls to make that important decision there to drop him for Harrison Edwards. And let's get into our team list there against the Newcastle Knights. Now, at fullback, Isaiah Iongi with the wingers, Brian Kelly and Josh Adokar. In the centres, the almighty IBS, Jordan Sam Rani, and we've got Sean Russell in the centres there, with Josh Papali being named to return at 5'8", with Ronald Volkman also being named at halfback for the first of time since he made his debut for the Blue and Gold in round one, also playing as a 7, as a 7, with Dylan Brown as 5'8". Luca Moretti as the front rower there, along with Jack Williams as the captain. And I predicted, people, what did I say in my predicted lineup? I predicted that Jack Williams will be named captain throughout this round, and he has officially been named as captain, leading this team. Talon Da Silva, another surprise, has also maintained his starting position at dummy half, along with Kelma Tuolangi also being named in the back row there with Kit Kat, with Jack DeBellin still staying at lock. Dylan Walker being named as the utility as number 14. Charlie Geimer is also named at number 15, which I am also very shocked, and I got a few questionable issues about that. Tony Mattielli at number 16 Harrison Edwards making his debut. Betwindle as the extended man bench player, who was also been named as the halfback for the cup team. Along with Ticum Brown, also been named in the extended bench, with Sam Tuivasa, Lorenzo Teletina, and Araz Nava also been named in in the reserves, as I mentioned before. And look at the Newcastle Knights side here. Um, we are faced up against our former 5'8" there, the $30 million man, Dylan Brown. Come up against some Queensland representatives there, like Caleb Ponga as the captain, Dane Gagai, Jacob Saifiti being representing for New South Wales. You also got other players there, like Tyson Frizzell being named on the bench there to make a massive impact off from the bench. But yeah, look, the Newcastle Knights backline there is absolutely just lethal there with Dominic Young, Fletcher Sharp, Greg Marzou, a former Parramaills player, and Santa Smith, who has been killing there at 5'8" for the Newcastle Knights. And I just feel like going into this game, I just see that there are so many combinations that the Newcastle Knights have with this spine that they are starting with against us. And I just see our side over here that I have some issues with this spine going into this week against the Newcastle Knights, especially with most of our players back. I have no issue with Isaiah Iongi starting at fullback, but why would you still start Josh Probably at number 6, where we already know that he is not a running 6, and he can barely even put in any grubbers there or put in like any slick passes there, and like his defense, like as a 5'8", is nowhere near Dylan Brown's level. Yeah, sure, he is still new to the role, but in my opinion, I don't think that it is a right move for the future of Joash to put him as a 5'8". I don't think he is a winger, and I don't think he is a 5'8". I think that he should have been slotted maybe in the utility bench, and possibly just put Dylan Walker in there. I don't know why that Riley Smith has been dropped. Maybe there has been a injured player out for the New South Wales Cup side. I don't know, but there could be some behind the scenes that we probably don't know, or I probably don't know either. But yeah, look, it's a very weird side going into this week, and there are some good parts about it, and there's like parts also with Jack Williams. He is not a prop forward, right? His defense and also his attack is way more better at the back row there with players like Kikat. But I also don't know why Charlie Geimer is still given a opportunity to start in first grade, where Sam Tuivasa, in my opinion, should be starting as the prop, and then drop Charlie Geimer, and then possibly drop maybe either Kelma or Kit Kat there, and then put Jack Williams with them. But to put Jack Williams as a running forward, I do get that he will lead with his strength and the technique of his run. So it could be a big move, but he has played prop before, and he's not like that great like playing as a prop forward. He is a back rower at best, and yeah. So I think that Jason Rolls has gotten this all wrong, just to still start Charlie Geimer on the bench. Where uh, I'm also very surprised that even Ticum Brown uh, wasn't even named in there, and I don't get why like Jason Rolls is still not having the balls to start players like Ticum Brown or either Sam Tuivasa. Like these are the players that are our future, and now we all know why that they haven't re-signed them yet, because they are not confident that they may possibly be our future. Like as I said before, there may be some injuries that Jason Rolls was forced to put Sam Tuivasa in that position, but I would have rather put Charlie Geimer down to a cup rather than just start him the way that he defended in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah. And I do get that Talon Da Silva has made 36 tackles, but I still think that he is not ready to play full 80 minutes as a dummy half. But we'll just see if Dylan Walker does come in and maybe rotates about like 65 minutes each, or maybe even maybe 45 minutes. But yeah, I just don't get the rotation plan anymore. Like you got Riley Smith there. He has been just uh, killing it throughout preseason, and yet you drop him to our cup. I know that Talon Da Silva has been killing it in preseason, but it just comes to show that some of the skills that Riley Smith has, Talon Da Silva just cannot execute right on. And yeah, like he's not that like Talon Da Silva is not that reminding type of player where he can be very like sneaky Alva dummy half. Oh wait, well he can, but what I'm trying to say is that um he just can't really just try to get the passes along, or to really just put in the 40-20 kicks, or to even find a touch. And yeah, look, I'm not saying that Talon Da Silva is bad, but like I just feel like that he needs more time to develop more of his skills, or to even learn some new skills that is going to get him prepared to play that full 80 minutes there, to execute his plays that he should have done against the Melbourne Storm, where we had multiple of opportunities to absolutely just pull Melbourne's pants down on Magic Round, and yet we didn't even do that. And that just comes to tell you that, do you just start telling the Silva and just give him some time? And sure, like we still need to be patient, since this is still a rebuild. But in my opinion, if you're going to start telling the Silva, then at least bring in Riley Smith there just to cover up any like miss and open execute. Sorry, just to bring him in, just to rotate him on, and just to at least make those big plays throughout any big opportunities that we are generating to make those big execution plays just to like um just to at least get some points on the board and get our confidence and the momentum going. And we all seen it like with Jonah Pezzett and Riley Smith. And I don't get why Jonah Pezzett has not started as halfback where he absolutely killed it in New South Wales Cup against the Dragons. But maybe because the players don't really like him training from what I heard behind the scenes, and I'm not sure if that is true or not, but that's just a rumor going around that some of the players during our training and preseason haven't really enjoyed training along with him. So maybe that's the reason why Joseph Rolls doesn't really fully trust on Jonah Pezzett, especially with the 1 year deal. But um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if Jonah Pezzett is injured, or is he, or maybe he is su- suspended. I, I'm I'm not too sure, because if we go into New Source Cup right over here, and we go on onto the team list, yeah, Jonah Pezzett. I don't know what has happened to him, but yeah, um, I'm I'm not too sure. Like, he could be injured, he could be suspended, but I don't know why that he is out. I'm gonna check right now, people. Yeah, yeah, I'm not too sure, people. But I just think that Jonah Pezzett will be a much more better start than Ronald Volkman at halfback, in my opinion. But I don't mind Ronald Volkman as the half pairing there. Maybe playing as a halfback there may actually improve on his defense there. But I do feel like that his role and his responsibility. He really needs to start like sharpening up just a little bit much more. He is still very good in attack, and he does have some very good passes that he can set up for any quick line breaks there, or any like fantastic long balls in that, similar to how Mitchell Moses does. But yeah, look, um, if we do like bring the pace into the halves there with Josh Papali there, just running with the ball there, and just putting up the kicks that I don't know how he's going to execute with Ronald Volkman in there, since these two I believe have played together during New Source Cup, which that does have me worried quite a bit that bringing these new bringing these New Source Cup combinations into this week just really is a massive concern about how we're going to find those combinations, or this plays to really just get our attack going, and just to get in front early, and just to grab that quick mo momentum without even just crossing the the areas, and then just not the defending on how we should be. But at the moment, we can't really fix anything about our defense at the moment, because Sam Moa just has no clue on how to fix our defense at the moment. But yeah, look, it's a very weird one going into this week against the Newcastle Knights. Just putting in players like in these weird positions. Uh, I'm not really a massive fan of it, to be honest. And I don't even know why Jason Rolls is still experimenting with this weird crap. As I said be, before, like it's not entirely his fault that the roster has to always change, but like just to bring this type of roster with some new sort of cup pairings and that it's just not the right move in my opinion. So I think Jason Rolls has got it all wrong here, and I think this is going to really buy him up on his butt. And I think that Jason Rolls should have done better, in my opinion. But that's the coach's the decision, not mine. But yeah, look, Saxon Prykes, I did expect him to be out, and I also predicted him to be out. And yeah, hopefully our bench will be very impactful. Even though, as I said earlier, I will drop I will drop Charlie Geimer for Sam Tuavadi, and then maybe and maybe just shift out maybe Kelma Tuolangi, or even maybe put out Kit Kat out on the bench, and then just bring on and then just bring him on uh when it is time to rotate there, and then both players will get about like a 1/2 footy each, and yeah, um probably I will probably maybe give Kelma Tuolungi maybe 65 minutes, and then maybe rotate him with Kit Kat that he can play for the rest of the match. But yeah, um, like both players can play a flatline attack when receiving the ball from the Talon da Silva when he does make a quick counter attack there. But yeah, we shall see on how Talon da Silva does against the new Newcastle Knights, and I expect him to improve on his execution, and also just make sure that Talon da Silva will be able to. And that's pretty much it there for my thoughts, and also my strategy going into this game. It's going to be a very tough one going up against Dylan Brown, our former player there, with Santa Smith, where, man, if our defense doesn't square up against players like Greg Marzu, Fletcher Sharp, Dane Gagai, Dominic Young, and also Kanaponga, then I do believe that this could possibly be a very embarrassing moment and not a very good look on us, to give away 13 million. Sorry, no. To let him take $13 million to walk away from his childhood club. And yeah, look, I mean, their forward pack, to be honest, it's a little bit how you're going, but I do believe their bench is possibly a little bit more impactful, in my opinion, with Pasami Solo there, making some great tackles there. Tyson Frizzell making some strong runs there. some strong post contact meters there to really just get the Knights some great field position there as well. Harrison Graham, um, I haven't really seen much from him. Neither Cody Hopwood. So yeah, of course, I don't really expect us to really underestimate the Newcastle Knights bench, but I do believe that we really need to make some late changes here and just to bring on either Sam Tuivasa or either Tegan Brown, in my opinion. So yeah, because while sure Jack Williams does bring us some size with Kit Kat and also Kema Tuolangi, if we're going to bring in some size as impactful players, I don't think that Charlie Geimer is the answer to really just bring on that um that like big strength player that can also be mobile at the same time. I think that Sam Tuivasa is the right player, or either Tegan Brown is the right option to replace Charlie Geimer as the number 15 on the bench. In in my opinion, so yeah. But Harrison Edwards, he had a very solid defensive performance against the Dragons. I think he made 53 tackles, which is very impressive in New South Cup. But his running meters, I mean, he does the job. But if we're going to have someone who is going to make 53 tackles, then I do expect him to make some very decent try savers there, and just to try and just push back the Knights forward pack as much as possible when coming on, and just at least just make some strong post contact meters to really give us some great field position there, and just to get at least more opportunities there for Talon Da Silva and Josh Publi, or either Ronald Volkman, just to really um, uh, strike with their um, halves pairing power there. And yeah, look, I think that our halves pairing, as I said before, will will bring in some speed there. But yeah, I think I've been rambling on a little bit too much. So yeah, so I'm gonna go into my tips here in my predictions for what is going to happen in this game. So my first try scorer, I'm going to say that it is going to be Brian Kelly. Sorry, no. No, I actually haven't really thought about this for people. So just give me a think. Just give me a sec. I need I need I need to think. All right. So I believe that Dominic Young will. Sorry, no. I believe that I believe that Greg Marzu will score the first try there. I just cannot trust with Josh Carr just not trying to control with him just charging in and just leaving a big gap similar to how Mike Silva does with his defensive style, and Greg Masu will go in there and just score a absolute soft try there, just leaving Joshua Carr wide open, and yeah. Um, but my anytime try scorer, I'm going to say that uh, it is going to be. Hmm, I'm going to say that it is going to be. I'm gonna say possibly maybe Kelma Tulangi. I might be a little bit bold with the type of and the time try scorer there, but I just really can't pick any player in here who was gonna score like consistent amount of points if Talon da Silva is not going to consistently get his execution right. And yeah, I I don't really see us like really scoring like many points here, and I just feel like that we're going to be in the same boat as how we were against the Melbourne Storm, just wandering around, putting pressure on the Knights forwards there, just making them exhausted, but yet cannot find that clean, simple cut through just to score simple, basic tries and also just generating easy points there that the Knights cannot be able to have enough energy just to really stop because with the amount of opportunities that we just keep on forcing we are kept on forcing the Melbourne Storm to just drop basic errors. I just hope that we can do that the same way, but actually just um, but to actually just be relentless and just play it, just play simple and just don't overthink it or either overlap it. And I think when you put that challenge into these young players here, just playing for the first ever time in this type of spine, it does put on a little bit more pressure on these young players there, just to really not let Dylan Brown embarrass his former club there. But I really do hope that Talon da Silva just knows that um, he has had a massive reality check on what we have seen against the Melbourne Storm, and I do hope that I do hope that Talon da Silva will step up for this game, and if he does, he will be my man of the match, possibly with two try assists and possibly a sneaky try, a sneaky try straight under the post. But at the moment, the way that he was playing against the Melbourne Storm, I just don't think that he is just the right type of player to play the full 80 minutes there. And I just believe that Talon da Silva is is just far is just far from just being an ideal, fast paced, sneaky Money 2.0 dummy half that we have had that has led us to the grand final, just like how RSG and Clinton Gufson has done for us. So yeah, but with Isaiah Iongi, since I've been a little bit quiet about him making his return to the main field, I feel like that Isaiah Iongi is going to have a little bit of a ring dust just to try and um, um, brush off, and I feel like that he will make multiple of errors in the first half, and I think that he will find um, that and I think he will find himself starting to get into the flow with his left side edge counter there, just like on how he does there with just Adakar. And if he can do that with just Adakar, I do believe that we will absolutely just in embarrass the Newcastle Knights, and we will actually start looking um like how like how we were from last season, where we are putting on 66 points to 12 points against the Newcastle Knights. But at the moment, with Isaiah Iongi there being uh, being monitored with the amount of minutes that he was playing in a cup. I'm hoping that that he is fit enough to start getting back into the groove of getting um, those um, those those fast counter edging attacks there, where he can just quickly just get those quick short balls there to Josh Okar, or even maybe a quick dummy there, and just use his speed, footwork, and also a little bit of his strength there just to get over. Which that's the thing that Josh probably couldn't really do. Where Josh probably was just relying on his speed and also his on his footwork there. But I feel like that his movement, Josh probably was just how can I describe it? Just very telegraphed. And I think with Ongi, you don't really expect him on what opportunity or what holes that is going to open up for him that he's going to take. And I feel like that Isaiah Ongi is just a little bit much more hungrier and just much more calmer when he does see the opportunities. And I do think that his vision is just slightly just a little bit much more better than Josh probably. Yeah, sure, Josh probably does have talents, but Isaiah Iongi doesn't really always rely on his talent, and and I'm not trying to take anything away from the hard work that Josh probably does, but I just feel like that in the big games where we have to win, I feel like that Josh probably just doesn't really um, he doesn't really handle pressure that that well. And I know that Isaiah Iongi can't handle pressure on the high ball as well, which that's that's another thing that I'm expecting from Isaiah Iongi, just to improve on his high balls there, and hopefully with his defense there, just coming from the other side there, that Jared Hayne on the Talking Para podcast heavily criticised him for. I do hope that Isaiah Iongi will take some notes on what Jared Hayne said on the Talking Para podcast, and just at least will work on that while coming back from a ankle injury. So yeah, um, and yeah, there's not really much to really say more about this preview here. Other than that, other than let's hope that this spine and the returning players will prove me wrong. That we will embarrass Dylan Brown, and that we will prove him wrong at Newcastle, and it's going to be a very tough and interesting ordinary game coming up. And the referee, let's see, who is refereeing this game? It hasn't really said at the moment. So we got Dave Munro. I don't think he's that great from what I heard. I could be wrong, but there is no Pete. Well, there is no Peter Goff, so that's good enough. But I mean, there's no excuses about referees. Even when Peter Goff was refereeing the Storm and Eels game, we were still not good enough, and we were absolutely just parathetic to not execute on 1,000 open plays that the Melbourne Storm were just consistently gifting possession possession, giving us good field position, just to absolutely just pull the pants down. And instead, we we didn't take it, and we massively pay the price. So let's hope that we don't do the same thing against Dylan Brown. And if we do, then my oh my, it's probably going to be one of the worst days that this club has to face, worse than the loss against the Melbourne Storm, and I hope that we don't have to show that against Dylan Brown in Newcastle. And yeah, let's hope that we can put on a cricket score respectfully against Dylan Brown. And yeah, let's hope that these young players here can be able to just work together and can be able to communicate also, which that's also going to be another big challenge since Jack Williams, he is a very good uh, communicator, and let's see if his communication skills and also him leading the forward pack can really just inspire some forwards there, just to really just to run up for any short balls that either Ronald Volkman or maybe even Josh Papali can really just try and get the combination there, uh, uh, getting that counter there with Jordan Sam Ronnie there, and maybe linking up there with Isaiah Iongi. So yeah, uh, and if Josh probably can just link up with that type of counter, similar to what Isaiah Iongi does, and then maybe just letting Isaiah Iongi just doing his counter edge attack there on just a car side, then I think um, there will be like a balance that will be just very wide open with so many combinations that they can just try and visionize on the inside there with your help with Talon da Silva. But I'm just hoping that Talon da Silva just doesn't overthink or overlap things. I know that he is still very young and that we shouldn't really be heavily criticizing him. But in this game, you cannot lose against Dylan Brown. I'm sorry, but uh, in this game where we are coming off from the bye, we need to start winning some games, and just us being fully fit, and with Jack Williams being as captain, there is no more excuses for Talon De Silva, even though he is young, and people can make excuses, especially after their game. Or well, he's still in his time. We're still in a rebuild. Well, it doesn't really matter because we have already given him like more time than what he expects him to do, and he has had a very good preseason, so he needs to de he needs to deliver that for 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 a full 80 minutes, and he has not faced up against Melbourne Storm, and yeah, like Newcastle Knights fans, like um, they won't be like in your face type of like fans and that. So I am hoping and hopefully that it is also not raining, since it is raining at the moment as we speak. But I am hoping that it doesn't rain, because that will also put on some massive pressure there on these boys, and I am just hoping that they can stay well conditioned, being prepared to play under very wet conditions at McDonald Jones Stadium. So yeah, that's my preview there for the Newcastle Knights versus Premier round 13 for the 2026 NRL season. let's hope that we can get the win here, people. And if you also have enjoyed this preview, people, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and also share to any Paramo fan or community or other social media group that they are in. And also make sure to follow us on all of our pages there on Instagram and also on TikTok. And make sure to give us a listen on both Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts itself. And as I always say at the end of every Balloon Army podcast, go Para.